in this life, because the only thing that truly exists is right now. But our mind likes to, not likes to, it has no choice. At least, in the teachings and at least in the wisdom and everything else that we've gathered, that we heard, and all that other jazz. The mind can only, and it can only exist in the past and the future. That's just it. That's the place where it can only exist. It's hard for the mind to exist in the present moment. In the present moment, you're not supposed to be thinking. You're not, you're just doing. You're just listening. You're just, like observing, right? There's nothing we can do about the past. I don't care if it's 5 minutes from now or an hour from now. You must accept that the past is past, and you must accept that there's nothing you can do about the future. The future will always be unknown. The future will always be unknown, regardless if you're in alignment or not. Regardless if you're in alignment or not. Like, you always go feel said feelings. You're always going to have these thoughts and so on and so forth. You can be an NPC. You can be the most enlightened being. We all have these feelings. We all have these setbacks. We all going to have we all going to have these things and everything else that pulls us in. The only thing you can do is be the observer. Be the observer of everything. They say that there's no self. There's no self, there's no self to improve on. There's no self to like analyze on, or wherever the case may be. The self is infinite. The self is everything and nothing. The self you become informed once you start hesitating, and once you start, whatever, That's the form. And engage in flesh-based behaviors. And flesh-based behaviors can be a bunch load of different things. It doesn't, like in some cases it can be more about sex than anything else. To others it can be more about like gluttony. It can be more about eating. Like it can be more about like emotional regulation, alcohol, substances, these things, right? These things that gives us an opportunity to escape said reality that we're living in. Whatever difficult mind state or wherever we're living in. There's no self. There's no self to investigate in, and whatever the case may be. Everything happens how everything's supposed to happen. Forget about the label. Forget about your goals and everything else. Just as a formless being. All right. Forget about all that for a second. Everything's happening how everything's supposed to happen. That doesn't mean to that doesn't mean to not want to do better. There's still areas there's still areas in our lives, in our microcosms, where we still fall short. We still fall short. We still drop the ball. We still react to our urges. We still identify with the form. We still identify with this thing. Instead of just being present, being right here, right now, the silence where, we gain all the wisdom. We look at everything and we're like, okay, I don't like how I did this. I don't like how I treated this. I can do better next time. Or, I really want this to be a year of peace, to be a year of understanding, be a year of harmony, alignment. And alignment can mean a bunchitude of different things. In my own life, the understanding is that you can't always try to be something. Like you can't especially when we go through these things and we feel like that there's gonna be another place where we gonna feel better. And like we just always think that there's somewhere else that we should be other than right now. That there's not a lesson to be extracted and everything else from right now. It's a constant. It's a constant. It's a constant. It's a constant thing that we all face. Like we all got wounds and everything else that we don't discuss. Like we all got shit. Like we all got millions and millions of like bloop 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 bloop. Because that I think of thoughts as that sometimes. Bloop 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 bloop. Like it's like the thing that gives. And it's like ultimately, bro, because you're dealing with reflections of yourself every single day and everything else, and all of that can be a clear snapshot of how far you came. You know, there's probably some cases where we might not want to, like, we might not want to think about how far we truly came, you know, because our mind is always thinking about the worst, and that, you know, like, our mind's always going to always pick something wrong from every experience, regardless if it's good or bad, regardless if it's something that we want or don't want, right? Our mind sometimes doesn't truly acknowledge the fact of how far we came. A lot of times all that's felt. Really truly appreciate how far you came. Really truly appreciate the fucking magnificence of the journey that you came. Forget it, you know, like, forget about the labels for a second. Bro, listen, just because we're enlightened doesn't mean that we're not going to go through the ever flows and peaks of life. There's always going to be their highs and lows. And the only thing we can do as awareness and as enlightened ones is just be aware of it. Just be aware of it. Be aware of the body, be aware of what's happening. Be in the middle. There's no good or bad. Remain colorful. Maybe in some cases, true enlightenment is just realizing that there is a middle. You know, there's things that's always want to be painted, you know, black and white. Even when it comes to the things that benefit us, even that's black and white. This is good, this is bad, don't do this, don't do that. No, like, there's always a gray. There's always a gray in everything. Even if you had everything figured out, there still would be things. There's still going to be their highs and lows. Truly, it's just all about looking at the highs and lows, really being aware of the highs and lows, seeing it for what it is. And just being your true self. You know, everything ever, you know, fucking, and you feel it. You feel it, you know, like, you feel something being taken away from you every time you indulge in these things. When you indulge in doom scrolling, when you indulge in, like, excessive technology usage, fucking, you know, like, talking to multiple people, you know, fucking, you know, not, like, there's so many things. Being in, like, crowded areas for a long time, um, fornicating. There's always these things always, it has a weight, it has a drainage in them, you know. In your movie, in your video game, in your TV series. I really don't know. You know, I think a lot of people call this life a bunch of different things. The universe, God, Earth, my life, your life, blah blah, da da. My movie, your movie. Okay, you doing that in your movie? Oh sure, I was doing this in my movie back then. Da, 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 da. Oh, you man, why you didn't invite me to your movie when you were doing it? You know, like all these fucking things, right? Ultimately, in your life, because we all have unique lives. We all have unique things that we have to go through, and then, like, that's just the way it is. And I think just absorbing the teachings, absorbing the wisdom and the knowledge that we picked up along the way, no, it doesn't stop everything from going to happen. It doesn't stop it, you know. But a lot of these things is just perspectives. Regardless if you just want to call everybody around you NPCs, regardless if you just want to just say that the world is you, regardless if you just want to say, oh, me versus them, regardless if you just want to say, okay, me and everybody else, we're going to do this, we you know, we got to do this. Regardless of how you want to look at this shit, I mean, ultimately, it's just the meaning of you. When you go silent, the world gets silent. And there's probably times that you might not want to feel it, or you might can't feel it because there's still probably still attachment to the world, and there's still things, there's still grudges, unnecessary things that we probably hang on to. But just this silence. When you go silent, the world gets silent. You know, when you start to fucking live up and party and everything else, that's what the world does. That's what everybody does. When you start to fucking get your shit together, when you start to fucking get your body right and everything else, guess what? The world reflects that. At the same time, all of it's just perspective. It was all about the perspective that you carry that's going to move you along into your movie, into your journey. There's so much of abundance of perspectives because that's all it is. None of it's real life. Hell, even the shit I'm saying is not real life. It's all fucking perspective. Because I tell you this, my perspective shapes how I feel and how I move and everything else, how I feel about the world, how I feel about myself, da 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 da. If I do this, I feel this way, da 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 da. All that shit's fucking perspective. Just like how somebody else has a fucking completely different fucking perspective. What makes me feel a certain way and what makes me think a certain way and so on and so forth is not gonna fucking make them. And the same vice versa. You know, like in their movie, they go feel some type of way about A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and they go feel affected about A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That the same rules don't fucking apply to me. It's all fucking perspective. And when it's based off this fucking too much technology and everything else, and because believe me, bro, it's all up in our face. We might as well fucking might as well have like a screen head. It's oh man. But you get my point. Like you kind of get my drift. You know, like just so to be right here. We're right here with it. You know, like I gotta be right there on the phone just so I can put this video up. You know, like technology's constantly moving. Technology's constantly moving. We don't want to miss out on something, you know, regardless if you want to admit it or not. There's some things that we want to admit, and like there's labels and everything else that we just put against ourselves, and everything else. Like now, you know what I'm saying? Like now we feel like that staying up late playing video games all night. Like a lot of these labels didn't fucking exist back in the day, and we was all kind of able to live freely and everything else, regardless if it was right or wrong. I think, but either way it goes, like we still dealt with it, and that's why we came across the philosophies and everything else. But a lot of times, you know, like all this abundance of things, like the abundance of things and things and things and things and things and things and things, and it doesn't end. It doesn't end. There's even sometimes I probably ask how the fuck I get the viewers I got, you know. just you know, like YouTube is good for doing that. Just recommend you, yeah. You know, but at the same time, it's a never-ending thing. It's a never-ending thing. Like even that alone, you know, it's hard for you to find the time because like me personally, and you know, find time to just meet people and do just random things, you know? There's a part of me that still lives within the mind, and I don't like that. There's a part of me that still does things that I don't like. And that's awareness. That's awareness. True enlightenment is just realizing, well, I guess one of the true enlightenments, realizing that enlightenment's not pretty. It's not going to be pretty, you know? You gotta have to accept the things that you like and you don't fucking like. And just celebrate life each and every day. Because who is there to tell you it's gonna be a next episode? Who's there to tell you that the credits ain't gonna roll within like you know, like it's just an honor just to be here in this moment. It's truly an honor just to be here. It's truly an honor just to like be able to get these setbacks and be able to get back up. Be able to see these things for what they are and to get back up and keep on trying. Because truly, you know, like there's always been a countless of days and everything else, regardless if you're NPC, regardless if you're enlightened. We all have the days where that we might want, you know, we feel like busting some shit up, like because like yeah. But you have to understand is that, bro, like, you're just in this beautiful play of just life. I don't know if you can hear noise in the background. These walls is kind of thin. It's the neighbors. Shoot. And I want to talk about this as well because because there has to be a point where where because it's beyond discipline. It's beyond logic, it's beyond discipline at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like because and yeah, you know, like it's all love at the end of the day. Devotion. Devotion, you know, like regardless of anything, because we can only, you know, like we can only be awareness, we can only be this present moment. All the labels, all the things, all the things, all the things, all the things that they tell us to be, fuck that. But being devoted to something, regardless of what the fuck it is, just finding devotion. And that can be in anything, you know. It's that right there that truly that's the catalyst. Devotion. You know, that's gonna be the thing that separates you from your quote unquote old self to your quote unquote higher self, quote unquote. That word devotion is the catalyst because that's beyond logic, that's beyond anything. You can't logic your way out of it. You can't read all the books and everything else, and because it's just going to put you into a loop. It's gonna put you into a loop. When you find something that you fucking devoted for, devotion, everything else comes easy. You're not gonna find devotion in your next self-improvement video that you watch. Because devotion, that word devotion, will take away all the attention from all those videos. All those stories will dissolve. When you find something that you fucking devoted to, devotion and focus. Because I tell you, man, there'd be a lot of distractions, man. Finding purpose to the devotion. Oh man, you must find out what you're passionate about. Find out what the fuck you're devoted for. What you're devoted to. I'm sorry. And yeah, that shit doesn't come fucking overnight. You have to try so many things, so many things. I'm in the process of trying and trying and trying and trying and trying and fucking trying and failing and succeeding and failing and succeeding and failing and fucking succeeding and trying and trying. Devotion. I know it's not an overnight thing. I know you're not by tomorrow, you're just going to be fucking Mr. Businessman of the fucking, maybe, like, but, like, listen, you don't know how God works, man. God can give you $1 million tomorrow, but at the same time, you don't know what's good or bad, right? Regardless of like a setback or regardless of whatever happens, the thing that you're devoted to will always push you through it. Will always push you through it. It's that thing that, like you can do for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, and you'll lose time. You lose track of time because you're just so into what you're devoted in. You're so into the rhythm. You're so into how it feels. Like you're just so locked in it. That purpose, that, the thing that you're here for. You're here for. I'm not saying that thing is gonna last forever. You might be here for a bunch of fucking things. Don't put yourself in a box. Don't put yourself in a box. You can be fucking a bunch of fucking things. You can be a great artist and a president. Like you can be fucking, like you can be a bunch of fucking things. You don't have to put yourself in a box, man. You don't have to think that your world and your future is fucked because you made a mistake. Because you had a setback. Because you think that you had this one good streak, now you're not gonna get it no more. That's bullshit. You gotta look beyond the mind. You gotta look beyond what's going on. You must acknowledge what's going on and see it for what it is and look beyond it, because you're beyond it. I told you this a long time ago. From where you're standing right now, you're infinite. From where you're standing right now, you're abundant. Just by you being here. Just by you fucking being here, man. Just by you being here, you're infinite. Do we act like it sometimes? No. But that's okay. It's those actions, it's those setbacks and everything else that's going to get us into a bigger comeback. That's going to get us into bigger fucking mind states, bigger fucking ideas. You really think you would be the person that you are now if it wasn't for the fucking mistakes? No, not even close. You can't fucking expect to be perfect. I'm not saying don't try. But yo, congratulate yourself for how far you came. Like I told you earlier, really truly acknowledge how far you came, man. You don't have to analyze yourself and everything else. Bro, you made it. You don't have to judge yourself in that, bro. Look where you're at. You made it. You made it. You made it here. And I love you. I truly fucking love you. We all do. Take that one deep breath. Embrace the silence. Embrace that in this silence, the world is infinite. The world's in your palm of your hands when you're in the silence. And you can look at everything for what it is and you can assess and truly make the better decision, not just for yourself, but for your microcosm, or for your universe, or for God, or for your movie, or devotion. Love you, man.